Okay, so one more step here, and that is how do we measure our 7-degree angle? Because remember on the, well, you're looking at me, not the paper here, huh? So on our drawing here, we have this face that's not vertical, it's end cut 7 degrees, right? It's a 7-degree end cut. So like on this one, if this was going to be one of mine, and I was going to cut this one in and then cut this in to make that 7-degree face, how would I do that? If I don't have, well, I can use a protractor. Like in school, you put your protractor along this line here with your dot right there, your 0, and then you go out here to, this would be your 90, right? So you backtrack 7 degrees and you make your little dot and then draw your line. Now you could do that. If you have another way to measure an angle, you can do that. What I did is I have a protractor, so I drew a 7-degree line. And then what I did is I measured from the here to this point. So on a 2x4, just a normal 2x4 like this, 3.5 inches or so wide, if you measure from that corner and then you draw a dot 12 millimeters in to right there, and then you draw a line, that'll be a 7-degree line from that corner to that point, right? So 12 millimeters over 3.5 inches will be a 7-degree line. Now if your ruler does inches, it is actually 15/32. Now the ruler I got is very accurate. It goes down to 30 seconds. Not all do. So if you round down to 7/16, you'll be like 6.7 degrees or 6.8 degrees. Close enough to work. The important thing is just to make them all the same. So if you measure this at 12 millimeter, then cut the other face at 12 millimeter and the other board both ends at 12 millimeter. If you measure them at 5/32, at 15/32, or 12 millimeter, whatever it is, just carry that measurement. It's more important that they're consistent than they're an exact measurement that I have. Because after all, this is yours. I mean, you may actually use this and decide, hey, I want more of an angle. And you may make another one at a 10-degree angle. But we're going to make this one at 7. Unless you want to. If you look at it and you want to make a change, hey, you are the creator of that one. You can do whatever you want. But that measurement right there will get you a 7-degree angle. Okay? So there you go. Now you know how to do it. So if you can take a few minutes now, get your boards, figure out which is going to be your top, which is going to be your bottom. So which end you're going to cut the bottom in like this on both of them. So get them together. And you want to measure at from wherever you cut, the top corner to the top corner of the other one is going to be 6 inches. So now if you need to try and trim something up or cut something up or measure or whatever you do, and remember the same thing. So if I measure 6 inches from here to here, okay, so there's my 6-inch mark. So let's say my 6-inch mark is right here. Again, 12 millimeters in is going to be a 7-degree line. I don't have to measure from this edge out here. I can measure from anywhere I want to. But it's 12 millimeters different on the other side, right? If I needed to make my 7-degree angle in that way, it would be 7 millimeters further this way, but I don't. I need it in here. I need them both to come in. So at whatever points, I'm going to measure out, and let's say even on this one right here, let's say I didn't like this end, and so I didn't want to go from the corner. I wanted to cut here. Okay, wherever that point is, doesn't matter. I make my 90-degree, I make that mark. I make my 90-degree mark across. Here, I'll actually show you that in a video. So here's an example. See, I don't really care for this end. I want to get away from this end a little bit. So I'm going to cut mine further in. I'm going to start here somewhere, right? So watch what I'm going to do. Okay, see, I made a mark, and I put my square on it, right there. And I got it exactly on that mark, and then I drew my line. Now that mark, that's a 90-degree line, so that's all the way across. That's there, so it doesn't matter about this end. This end can be whatever it wants to be. This line is true to that side over there. Now I'm going to measure 12 millimeters from here over to here, and then draw a line from that corner to this corner, and that will be a 7-degree line once it's cut. Okay, there you go. See? Now when I cut that in, that face, all that's going to go away. Right? This is all the part I'm going to cut off. I cut all of this off, all the way over to that line right there. So when I get done, that will be a 7-degree face on it. Does that make sense? All right, there you go. Let's figure out and get cutting, because that's our next step, is to get all 4 of those boards cut at a 7-degree face, or 10, whatever you want. Your mallet, not mine.